Welcome to Sushi Bites. Wow, I never thought I was going to be able to say that again. I can't believe I've actually decided to revive Sushi Bites. It was a video about, if you're trying to be so careful you don't say anything bad about anybody, or you don't offend a race or a group of people, then you find yourself unable to say anything, because pretty much everything is offensive to someone. I've decided to put that original idea to one side. That's what the original Sushi Bites was about, but the whole focus now has changed to just talking about Japanese games in general. Japanese games that most of the time will be absolutely chock full of kanji and absolutely impossible to understand. And I think this is going to be a fantastic series if I approach it the right way. So, I've blabbed on for a while. Let's focus on today's games, and the games in this episode are pachinko games. Now, Japan, with their gambling, it's actually illegal to gamble for cash. The way they get around it in Japan, on the pachinko machines, is that you gamble for tickets or tokens, which can then be exchanged for prizes, or even exchanged for cash sometimes. So it's not the same as gambling for straight cash, and that's the loophole. I understand the allure of pachinko to a certain extent, because I before have dabbled in fruit machines, and I before have dabbled in like those quiz things where you tap the answers on the screen and you win money. I've dabbled in it before, so I understand the allure of gambling. But at the same time, I don't understand why pachinko is super popular. I mean, they go as far back as the 1920s, but 1980s was when pachinko saw a huge boom in Japan, and the games we're going to be looking at today are Sanyo Pachinko Paradise, Sanyo Pachinko Paradise 2, Doggy Parade, Sanyo Pachinko Paradise 3, Sushi Minamoto's 4, Sanyo Pachinko Paradise, and Exhilarated Good Catch Flag, Sanyo Pachinko Paradise 5. So basically, here's how these pachinko games operate on PlayStation. They're all developed by Irem. Most of them are code for code the same game. They have a few minor differences, like some of them they have quest modes and the quest modes are different. But for the most part, they're basically the same thing code-wise. You see, because you're not gambling for prizes or the chance to get money, I don't quite understand the allure of having pachinko in your home on a console, where you can't win any prizes. And also, with these pachinko games in particular, there's no limit to the amount of money you can put into the machine. You can put in as much virtual fake money as you like. So there's no limitation. You can play pretty much forever, endlessly. There's nowhere to actually get stuff from the credits you have and to unlock things. There's actually none of that. And there's none of that in all 5 of these PlayStation 1 pachinko games. So that confuses me, because, if there's no point in playing the game because you're not going to unlock anything, what's the point in playing? You can set it so the machine is a winning machine every time. Then what is the point in what is the point? If you can set the machine to infinite credits and you win every time, what's the point? I actually found myself playing these pachinko games for quite some time. I was actually starting to get into them, and that is what's frightening me. If I end up setting foot in a pachinko parlor, am I ever gonna leave? Because actually, it's kind of addictive, pachinko, especially with the screens, and the flashing lights, and the loud chimes, and the jingles, and the animations, and it's so... I could imagine it becoming a problem for me if I lived or visited Japan. And you don't even have to play the game, you see, because they allow you, with this menu here, they allow you to play any of the animations off the patchy slot machines. You can just watch the animations that come up when you're doing really well. You don't even have to play the game. Now, if you're actually buying these pachinko games each, right, they will cost you just over £3.50 each. Are you going to pay £3.50 or just under $6 for pachinko games each? This is where the PlayStation Plus membership comes in, because there have been a few games that I've found so far that I'm looking forward to talking about in future episodes that are actually really good, and your membership's worth it. But on the other hand, there's these 5 pachinko games that are worth shit. And here's the thing, right? Irem have continued to make these same pachinko games over and over and over and over on PS2, on PSP, Vita, and PS3. They have released these pachinko games, and I would not be surprised if one shows up on PS4 at some point. The ultimate super 1080p pachinko experience in 3D. Yes, you can enjoy pachinko like you're there. But when I think of Irem, when I think of them as a studio, right, I think of Legend of Hero Tonma, I think of R-Type, I think of Hammer and Harry. Now, they have a game based on the Hammer and Harry Gensan franchise on the PlayStation Plus subscription. And guess what? It's a pachinko game. Yes, a pachinko game. So, I mean, the opportunity to give away, like, one of the classic Hammer and Harry games for PlayStation Plus subscribers. And what do? They give you a pachinko version. Who wants to play pachinko when you're being offered actual Hammer and Harry? So I'm looking forward to talking about more of these cool games over future episodes of Sushi Bites. These have been 5 very sort of boring pachinko games. They are just games where you shoot balls into a machine, and there's no challenge, and there's no reason to be playing, and you can't unlock anything cool, you don't earn anything cool. There's basically nothing to do in these games! Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next Sushi Bites.